And good evening and welcome to another edition of Talking Wrestling. My name's Ralph Williams. Those of you new to the program, I welcome you aboard. And we're here every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Myself and my co-host by phone, Smokin, Jim Frazier. We have all the wrestling information for you tonight. Some things coming up here. I got the story tonight about Grayson Waller, about what he said to Shawn Michaels to warrant a suspension. We have two top tens tonight, and our where are they now? Wrestler tonight is Bob Backlund. So we're going to find out about information about Bob Backlund. Where is he now? What's he doing? I heard some stories. Smoking Jimmy's bagging groceries. I'm just joking. I don't know, but but anyway, Smoking Jim, how are you tonight? It's great to have you aboard as always.
Thanks. I'm doing good. Looking forward to the show, buddy.
All right. Tonight's wrestling news. We don't really have that much tonight, believe it or not. Usually we have a lot, but we don't tonight. But anyway, WWE has hired Blake Howard to be an announced team with Byron Saxton on a new NXT launch site. They're going to launch NXT on a streaming site, and Byron Saxton and Blake Howard will be the announcers. Also, Riddle will not be returning anytime soon. No creative plans for him, Smoking Jim. What do you think about this?
What's that? I'm sorry?
Riddle is not returning anytime soon. They have no creative plans for him. What do you think of this?
Well, it's shocking because of his fan base, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And no one has a timetable yet as to when Randy Orton is coming back. Also, Impact Wrestling and MLW have reported low viewership over the last several months. And Tony Khan is talking about AEW news about buying another wrestling company. Get this, he wants to buy another wrestling company. He's going to probably suck up either MLW. I don't think he'll be able to get Impact off of Anthem Sports yet. CM Punk decision of coming back soon, but was told that he has to apologize to the Elite or he will not be welcome back. What do you think of this, Smoking Jim?
Wow, man, that's some news right there, Ralph. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually thought Tony Khan was going to try and buy out CM Punk's contract and completely get him out of the company. But I'm hearing now, I guess due to ratings and money and things like that. You know, CM Punk, believe it or not, is a fan favorite. Whether people out there might not like his antics. You and I might not like him, but he does put butts in the seats. And AEW had their best attendance when CM Punk was wrestling for him. So, if I'm AEW and I'm Tony Khan, I do everything I can to get CM Punk back. But he gave him an ultimatum. He has to apologize to the Elite. If he doesn't, he's not coming back. All right? He's not allowed back in the company.
What's your prediction on that?
I don't think he's going to apologize. CM Punk's too bullheaded. But then again, he's losing money being out. But then again, too, as I've said many times, Tony Khan's paying people not to wrestle. And where your buddy Vinnie Mac, he wouldn't put up with that in the WWE. If you don't wrestle, you don't get paid. He'll get rid of you if you're useless. Because to him that's a waste of money, and that's good business. That's big business. We've talked about this before, and I think that's want to leave for the WWE. Andrade has been they're trying to recruit Andrade back to the company. Rumor has it his contract doesn't run out until next year for AEW. CM Punk here is trying to come back to the WWE, but they don't know if he's going to be banned or not. Vince McMahon said he'll never let him come back, but Triple H is going to try to push the envelope here. Dustin Rhodes is retiring from AEW. Rumor has it he might want to go to the WWE. His brother is trying to recruit him to go over there with him. We'll see where that goes. MJF has already mentioned that when his contract runs out at the end of this year, in January of 2024, he will be in the WWE. And also Wardlow is talking about leaving because they have nothing for him right now in creative on AEW. He was hurt for a little bit, but he sort of hasn't been around for a little while either. And so what do you think about this, Smoking Jim?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, man, there's so much information there, bro. I would love to get your take on that.
Well, I think, and I've said this many times, and I was right. Tony Khan has continued to just sign these wrestlers at random, and he's paying them to do nothing, which is why they're millions of dollars in debt every year. Okay, I haven't got the debt figures yet. Oh, by the way, Conan is not doing well. I forgot to mention that as well. Conan is not doing well at all. He's having some health issues. He is, yeah, he's having some out, but he's doing a little bit better now. He's taken dialysis. He's got some kind of cancer, and he started on dialysis, and they say he's feeling just a little bit better in the chemo. Yeah, but yeah, that's going on with Conan. Sad to hear about that. We'll keep him in prayers. He's a good guy, Conan, and sad to see his situation. What I think is as I've mentioned before, Tony Khan getting too greedy. He wants to sign all these wrestlers. Now he wants to buy another wrestling company. He already has two. So what are you going to do? Put in MLW in with your people and not have enough space for them? I mean, he's doing it now. And Tony Khan also announced too that that ROH is starting up in March. ROH is going to be on. He hasn't announced what network yet, but they're starting tapings in March. So everybody that's signed with ROH will be part of the tapings. And some of the guys that have been on AEW still have contracts with ROH, and they're going to be part of this. I'm glad he's splitting it up. It's about time because it's getting a little out of control with some of the stuff that's going on. So we're going to find out what happens. You could see some breakup in the Jericho Appreciation Society because, if somebody decides they go for a title and win, they might have to just wrestle in ROH only and not be permitted to wrestle with AEW. That's what Tony Khan's trying to do, so he can get rid of some of this bulk weight he's got in wrestlers that he continues to sign. And that's all right. We have Adrian commenting, use ROH as sort of a developmental territory for AEW. Yeah, you know what, Adrian? That's a really good idea. What do you think of that, Smokin' Jim?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Adrian, you're right on the thought on that. Thank you for watching and commenting. I appreciate your comments as always. All right, Smokin' Jim, let's talk about the Raw this past Monday night. I have something that I want to say that I believe is going to happen. I think that the Alpha Academy is either going to turn baby faces or there's going to be a split up. Did you see Otis? He was eating a hot dog. And I noticed that Chad Gable got angry when him slapped the hot dog out of his hand. And if you notice, too, he's grown his beard back. And he's doing all of his old moves. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I agree with you. You kind of broke that story a couple of weeks ago, and I agree with you.
But if you noticed, on Monday, he was eating a hot dog. And that's what he used to do before when he was with that Victor. That Victor he had, his partner. And what had happened was he was eating hot dogs, chicken wings, steaks, all that stuff. And then all of a sudden he started hooking up with, Gable. And when they put them together as a team, he shaved. He was acting different. He was mean and nasty. Now he's back to his, smiling and giggling and doing all that. So I think there's going to be either a breakup or they're going to go baby face as far as the Alpha Academy goes. But let's talk about the one match of the night. The Judgment Day versus the Street Profits. Of course, Dominic's a liar. He could tell me it's raining outside. and come knock on my door, dripping wet with a raincoat on, and tell me it's raining outside. I'd have to look out the window because I don't believe anything he says. He said Mama wasn't at the event. She was out promoting her match at WrestleMania, and then she sneaks up and jumps Beth Phoenix. And look, because Beth Phoenix was getting ready to put Dom in some kind of a predicament there or whatever. And I believe nothing he says. So.
Yeah, Beth Phoenix was getting ready to put his face right through the mouth.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. And then, of course, the Judgment Day won the match against the Street Profits. She knew that was coming. Adrian says Otis would do better on his own anyway, and the whole Alpha Academy thing was made no sense. It was sort of half-assed attempt to a repackage. So there you are. But anyway, so I think what do you think about this Judgment Day? What do you think is going to happen? You think if Rhea Ripley wins the women's title, there's going to be a breakup, or there's going to be some issues here coming up?
It's hard to say. The writers have been, really up and down the whole time. They got Dominic now. They went from being a tough guy after jail to, not even, running away, getting beat up by women. Yeah, I think that if, definitely Rhea Ripley, she can go off on her own. She got
Right,
the ability to be a champion.
right.
But I still think there's some storylines left for Judgment Day.
Well, you do know a match was added this past week. It's going to be, last week it was added. The mixed tag team. It's going to be Finn Balor and Mama versus Beth Phoenix and Edge. And gosh, what's his face? He's in the Elimination Chamber. So there we are. Dom doesn't even have a match. I hear he's going to fight his father at WrestleMania. We're going to see if that happens. And I got another great WrestleMania rumor I heard today is that Gunther's going to lose the Intercontinental title sometime soon. And Gunther is going to go up against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Now, we heard this rumor before, but I got some confirmation today that it is going to happen. Gunther's going to lose his belt, and he's supposed to lose it to Sheamus. I think Sheamus will be a great Intercontinental title holder. It's the one title he does not have. He could become a home run champion or a home run champion or Grand Slam, they call it, champion or whatever. So there we are with that. And that's the way I look at that. I think that would be a really good match to see how that kicks around. Piper Niven, your girlfriend, against Mia Yim. What'd you think of that match?
It was short and sweet.
Yeah, I know.
it was good, but I tell you what, the move that the one opponent made when the big girl was on top, and
yeah,
she kind of like, yeah, I'm like, how did she get out of that? That was so cool, man. That was so athletic and showed her strength, but it's just too much.
Oh yeah, Mia Yim, Sami Zayn promo with Cody Rhodes versus Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin started running his mouth again, and Cody Rhodes hauled him to the carpet right out to the ring and beat him a new butthole, something big time. And what do you think of that? I thought that was pretty hilarious, actually. And then Sami Zayn and and Cody were going back and forth about their legacies and their dreams and things like that. And what did you think of all this?
Well, I was surprised how ripped Cody Rhodes was when he took off his shirt.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, he was absolutely chiseled. He's in great shape. And poor Baron Corbin, what I mean? He said he didn't like his dad, his brother, like none of the road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
he didn't realize that Cody was right there. But I still can't get maybe you can help me out with that. I don't know what they're doing with Sammy. I don't understand what direction they're going. Maybe we got to wait and see. That you can see an end result there.
Oh yeah. We'll find out what's going on with all this. Also, Rodriguez, Morgan, Natalia, Asuka, Carmella, and Nikki Cross had their little 6-way match there. I think Asuka won that match. What do you think of all this?
Oh man, that was tough, man. Those 6-way matches. Man, it's just tough, man.
Yeah, well, Carmella was part of that team too. It was Carmella, Asuka, and Nikki Cross. They won. Their team won.
Yeah, anytime Carmella is in the victor's circle is always good.
Yeah, it looks like Raquel. It looks like Raquel Rodriguez is starting to turn heel. She kind of got real nasty with a few guys, and or a few of those ladies there. Liv
She's so
Morgan,
strong.
yeah,
She is so
yeah, she
strong.
looks like she's starting to turn heel, and I think that might happen. Natalia's going back to being a baby face. It looks like Liv Morgan. Well, who knows what's going on with Liv Morgan? So, we'll see what happens with her. Now, this match here, some people never learn, Smoking Jim. When is Mustafa Ali going to stop? I mean, now,
He almost got killed in there.
yeah, he got killed
got
against Bronson Reed. I mean, come on, man. Oh, jeez. Mustafa Ali, please give it up. I mean, come on, man. They should send him back to NXT. He'd get beat up down there too. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have nothing to say about that because you know why? That's just a waste. But The Miz, once again, against Rick Boogs. Oh my gosh. Miz lost again. Rick Boogs won. So, what do you think of the return of Rick Boogs?
Man, he's so strong. I mean, what did he curl the Miz like 10 times? Man, that's superhuman strength, brother.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, guys, it's a freak, but he's, he's not. I don't know if that was up. Is that my phone? Or your phone?
Yeah, it was yours there. Yeah.
Oh, sorry about
That's
that.
okay.
Wow. But the booze and came through on my phone. But yeah, he's so strong, man. But you can outsmart him. He's not the smartest. He's not the smartest tool in the tool shed. So, he'll never be champion, even with all that talent and strength. Because I think some of these other craftier wrestlers can outthink him.
Oh yeah. Bianca Belair, Bayley, and Becky Lynch. I like this match. I was happy that Bianca Belair won because now Bayley and Becky Lynch are not going to be in the Elimination Chamber. What do you think of this one?
Wow. I tell you what, I didn't know what was going on, man. Watching that match, it was super long, and every time it looked like one of the women were going to pin the other one, they would pull the other one off or kick them in the head. The one time they got all up on the ring ropes and did a backflip on all of them. I didn't think anyone was going to get up after that, but
right.
I was surprised. I kind of thought either the man
or Bayley was going to win this match,
or Bayley was going to win.
Right.
And but I don't think they wanted 7 in the chamber.
Yeah.
And of course the man came pretty close and somebody else got involved.
Yeah, yeah. Bailey's little gang or Damage Control got involved. Yeah.
But I thought it was just enough. But Bianca Belair, she just picked the one girl up and just threw her and knocked her out like a bowling pin full of wrestlers. Man, she's just so super strong, man, to be, that lean.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. I think Carmella was one of the ones that got hit when Bianca threw the girl out of the ring.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then on top of that, at least they were able to neutralize Damage Control. And the one girl, the Dakota Kai, she has an injury. And Damian Priest, the one from Judgment Day. I had a brain fart. Sometimes I get a brain fart with some of these names. But it was Damian Priest I was talking about earlier. He's in the chamber match. Yeah, so, but anyway, also, I believe Rey Mysterio's in there as well. That's going to be interesting to see where that goes. As far as the chamber matches go, they had the contract signing with Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Lashley outsmarted Brock Lesnar this week.
Yes, he did.
He brought that table out. He's sitting over there. He says, "Come on, Brock." And all of a sudden, Brock got mad. He come up the aisle, and next thing you know, oh my gosh, I had to laugh at that.
He destroyed all the security guards.
Oh yeah, he did.
That left an opening for Lashley.
Oh yeah. It was hilarious, man. You know what? That's going to be an interesting match. I think that might be the match of the night. I really believe that because them two guys have met before. And so we're going to see who really is, and this is like I think the third go round for them. So we're going to find out what's going on with this match. I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm interested to see the Sami Zayn Roman Reigns match. What do you think of this? You think the tribal chief comes up, or you think Sami Zayn takes it? Do you think the bloodline leaves him again and leaves him hanging by himself? What do you think?
I don't think Sammy can handle Roman. I think somebody said it best. I can't remember who said it, but they said, they go Roman getting another easy match to keep his title." But I forget who said it.
Yeah. He's going to have to keep his head above water without his gang if he don't have it. Yeah. Exactly. That's right. That is the truth on that. And I agree with you on that, Smokin' Jim. There's no doubt. He without his posse, he's nothing. I mean, technically, and when he was in the Shield, he was really kind of nothing unless, he was with Rollins and Dean Ambrose. I mean, that's as simple as that there. All right, SmackDown results. Let's talk about the Drew Sheamus match. They took on Hit Row and Top Dollar. And turns out Drew and Sheamus won that match. It just seems like Hit Row's been not hitting the hit streak lately. They've been losing matches. What do you think of this?
Well, I'll tell you what. There's something missing with Hit Row. When they were on NXT, they really had star qualities, and they're doing pretty good now. But there's something definitely missing. I think it's Top Dollar. He's not. His arms are like flabby. It's like he's sick,
right,
or he lost a lot of weight. He's still pretty strong. He still grabbed two guys up at the same time, but he's not the same as he was on NXT. I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. I think that their best bet's to go back to NXT. So anyway, Karrion Kross took on Madcap Moss. Oh, Madcap Moss. You know what? I kind of like the guy. He was a former football player. It was nice to see. You know what I mean? It's great that he's trying to do something in wrestling, but he's not cutting it. He really isn't. He hasn't won hardly any matches, and then some of the tough ones he hasn't been able to even come close in them. So. Yeah, we saw Karrion Kross win that match. What do you think WWE is going to do with Karrion Kross? I hear he's unhappy. His contract's due up soon. He's talking about leaving. What do you think?
You know what? There's a place for him because he's crazy as heck. He's intense. He looked like he got the roid rage. He got a beautiful wife that can also wrestle. So I'm kind of surprised that they're not finding more spots for him to wrestle and be exposed. But I guess they know. I guess they know what they're doing.
Oh, absolutely. And then let me see here. Oh yeah, Santos Escobar took on Rey Mysterio. I'm hearing stories. He's going to become a baby face. He's going to get away from that group there. He had some respect for Rey Mysterio and actually shook hands with him or whatever. And it turns out you might see them two teaming up together because I heard that they're from the same country and Escobar. Stories are going around. He's going to become a baby face. What do you think about this?
Man, that's very interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good one.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the final match of the night from last week's SmackDown: the Usos versus Strowman and Ricochet. Now, I thought with all the problems going on with the Usos, I actually thought that Strowman and Ricochet were going to win that match, but it didn't go that way. So Jey Uso did show up, but Sami Zayn beat his ear a little bit with a couple things. And, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I was surprised too. For a long time, there was only one Uso in the ring. Right. And I thought he was going to have to fight those two by himself. Then his brother shows up, and I still didn't think they could be Flippy and Braun Strowman.
Flippy and Braun
But
Strowman. He calls Ricochet Flippy.
but
Oh my
but
gosh.
but you know, just that experience is just so much, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they didn't realize that the Usos had already made a tag, and you know they thought that they were in a good position, and here comes the other one that was tagged in coming from the top of the rope. So yeah, they just so experienced, but I did not think they were going to win.
Right. I wanted to tell you legal things going on right now in wrestling. Jeff Hardy, his hearings due up in March. Uh, he was charged with some kind of DUI stuff in North Carolina. He is having a whole bunch of legal issues. AEW told him he had to go to rehab before he could come back. He's done his rehab program. I don't know how the hearing's going to go. We're going to find out. I'll give more details out to everybody as soon as I get them. And Tammy Stitch, she's at it again, having all kinds of problems with legal. This time she's going to jail for murder. She was involved in a DUI crash, and what had happened was this was like her third or fourth offense for DUI. She killed some people. She hit them with her car. And they're saying she could get up to 15 years in prison, which could happen. Now, her hearing was postponed again by her legal defense team. So, I'll keep you up to speed on that, but that's what I have so far. So, all right, Smokin' Jim, it's now time for our 2 top 10s tonight. And you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's do our top 10s. Hang on a minute.
There we go. All right. Our first one. Our top 10 tonight is who stopped wrestling to get help. Okay. We're going to start with number 10, Nia Jax. She stopped wrestling to get help. She has mental issues. So that's why she had to stop wrestling to get help. All right. Goldust, also known as Dustin Rhodes, is number 9. He has alcohol and drug problem. He stopped wrestling to go get help. Next is Shawn Michaels, drugs and alcohol, and he became a born-again Christian, went out and got help. Number 8 is Kurt Angle, drugs and alcohol. He went and got help, got out of wrestling for a little while. Big Cass, who is now Big Will or Big Bill in AEW, formerly known as W. Morrissey in Impact. He was the one that hooked up with Enzo Amore. He was down for a little while. He had a mental health issue and some alcohol problems. Number 6. Number 5, Jake the Snake Roberts. We know he's had some alcohol and drug issues over the years. Went to Diamond Dallas Page's rehab class or house or whatever and got himself in order, him and Scott Hall. So Scott Hall, speaking to him, number 4, drugs and alcohol, that took his life. He was, into drugs, alcohol, kept having relapses. His heart gave out and he died. Sasha Banks, believe it or not, there, Smokin' Jim, number 3. You know what she had to take wrestling off for? She was involved in it, but she had some depression issues. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she has some depression issues. Roman Reigns, he took off for health issues due to leukemia, reoccurrence, and the number 1 wrestler to take off. He had to actually twice with AEW since he's been there. He's been in rehab twice for alcohol. John Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose. So there's your top 10.
What was see, I didn't know that about Kurt Angle. What was his drug of choice?
He was taking a bunch. He got addicted to painkillers because remember he had those neck problems.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he started getting addicted to painkillers. And so, oh, by the way, I wanted to let everyone know AEW biography comes back this Sunday. All the different wrestlers. I think that this week's is going to be the NWO. So anyone's interested, A&E this Sunday, NWO. So it's going to be there. Those documentaries, those biographies are pretty nice. You're going to see Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan, and some others on that as well to go over. Okay, next, the top 10 wrestlers who were ordered, WWE wrestlers who were ordered by Vince McMahon to lose weight. All right, here's the top 10. You ready?
Okay.
All right, we'll start off with the Usos' father and Sikoa's father, Rikishi, number 10. Okay. Number 9, Sheamus. Because when Sheamus first came in, remember he had this big beer belly and pot belly and all that? And he looked kind of, yeah. He was told by Vince McMahon, lose weight or get out. So
I think he had dark hair too, didn't he?
yes, he did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 8, Gangrel. I remember when Gangrel came in, he had this big fat pot belly. If you see Gangrel now, he's in MLW. He used to team up with Edge and Christian. They had some little faction going there back in the day. But Gangrel's still wrestling. He looks real nice, lean and thin. And, he's took his weight down. The older you get, you have to do something with your weight eventually, or there's going to be some issues. Anyway, number 7, Yokozuna, who I believe passed away. I'm not real sure. I think he did, but he was ordered to lose weight. So next, number 6, Keith Lee. He was ordered to lose weight. If you remember, Keith Lee was looking kind of heavy there, and then he took the weight down and chiseled himself down a little bit. So Vince McMahon said, lose weight or get out. Number 5, Bray Wyatt. Oh, by the way, Bray Wyatt wasn't even on Friday night. Wow. Wasn't that amazing, huh? Jeez.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention him and LA Knight. Neither one of them were on.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah, those big dummies, Number 4, Gunther. Remember when Gunther was in NXT and he was fat and everything else and looked kind of out of shape? And then all of a sudden he got called up, him and Imperium, and he slimmed down and lost a lot of weight and got himself built up a little bit. Number 3, Ryback. Well, we all know the story about Ryback in the WWE. Number 2, Kevin Owens. He was ordered to lose weight and number 1 person who was ordered to lose weight and did, the Big Show,
Paul White.
Wow.
So
wow.
And there are your 2
top 10s for tonight on Talking Wrestling. Myself, Smokin, Jim Frazier. We are here every single Wednesday night from 7:30, and we're here usually for sometimes 45 minutes, maybe even less than that, depending on what we have to talk about. We've already gone an hour. Okay, let's talk about our Where Are They Now segment
tonight, and that is
Bob Backlund. All right, everybody, if those of you who don't remember who Bob Backlund was, he kind of came in after Bruno Sammartino. Bruno lost a belt to a couple different, I forget who he lost it to at that point. And then Backlund came in and took it off of a couple people. And he had it for a good while, I'd say. And then he got beat by the Iron Sheik, and that's when Hulk Hogan came in. So his build weight was 234. His height is 6'1". Okay. Now, Bob Backlund was born 1949. His current age is 73 years old in Princeton, Minnesota. His spouse, he has one spouse, and he retired in 2018 officially from wrestling. He was wrestling in the independents for a little bit. He had two stints in WWE. So he has a book out. It's called Backlund from All-American Boy to Professional Wrestling's World Champion. So he has a book out there. So if anyone wants to go out and read a book about Bob Backlund, you can go ahead and do that. So anyway, hang on a second here. Yeah, he went out and he got that done. And then he came back to wrestling. Let me see here. Hold on. Oh, wait, he was in some movies. He was in two WrestleManias. And then he was in the WWE Divas segment. And he was in something called Undressed with the WWE Divas. Can you imagine Bob Backlund being in there? Yeah. So anyway, his real name is Robert Louis Backlund. That's his real actual name. Yeah. So, but he's retired now, as I mentioned before, and he's currently he's just sitting around retired. He had a construction company. I remember the first time he retired after Hulk Hogan beat the Iron Sheik. He was working construction. He has his own construction company. I believe he probably still has, or he may have sold it by now. But that's the not a lot about him. I try to look some stuff up about him, and really not a whole lot to tell. I mean, it's just a simple.
I remember him. I think he. I want to say I'm trying to remember, but I think he won the title off of Superstar Billy Graham,
Yeah, he
who
did. That's right.
surprisingly
Yes.
did not hold the title very long ever,
No.
with all that talent and all that built. But yeah,
Okay.
Bob Backlund, legend.
Yeah, he was in the WWE from 1976 to 1984. Then he came back in
Wow.
the 90s. He held the WWF Championship 2 more times after the last time he had it. His reign was the second longest in the history as recognized by the WWE. Backlund lost.
Really?
Yeah, Backlund lost the title to Antonio Inoki in Japan in 1979.
Okay.
But regained the belt within a week, and then the WWE never acknowledged the title change in the USA. Backlund was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2013. Okay, so and also his ring names were Bob Backlund, and then when he came back the second time, they were calling him Mr. Backlund, kind of like Mr. McMahon. Remember Mr. McMahon?
Yeah, I remember that.
What was your favorite back in the days of the Attitude Era? What was your favorite feud? Mine was McMahon and Steve Austin. What was yours?
Well, ooh, anything with Steve Austin, man. That was my favorite.
I think him and The Rock too was
my
another
favorite
good one.
wrestler.
Him and The Rock.
Yeah,
Yeah, they had some.
man.
Yeah, yeah. Anything with him is
But I tell you what, Ric Flair and the Sting and some of them guys, man, they were Lex Luger and Ric Flair, and there was some legendary ones, man. Back then, the guys could really sell it, man. I mean, they were like Muhammad Ali, man. They could
Oh
they could
yeah.
sing it. You look just as much forward to them talking as you get them wrestling, you know?
You know what? You know what? I wanted to be. I actually wanted to be a car salesman because I like to talk to people, so I could probably sell
Yeah.
cars. You know what I mean? I wanted to be a car salesman. It never happened, but But here I am. I'm selling wrestling. We're broadcasting wrestling on podcasts. How do you like that? That's just
And I tell you what, man, this show is so good, man. Thanks to you, the top tens and the things that you come up with, and you talk about the present day wrestlers. We talk about the wrestlers in the past, and it's just for 30 or 45 minutes.
it's
Might have been a wrestling show.
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing like it. There isn't. There's nothing like it at all. And on our show now, on our TV show, we're going to start talking wrestling for about a half an hour now. So that'll give everybody some insight on wrestling plus the sports, and we're going to have a great time. On PCTV in March 2nd, because we're going to do that again. I enjoyed it last month, and I think we're going to do it again. Anyway. Backlund began his career as an amateur wrestler. He competed for North Dakota State University Bison team from the late 60s to early 70s. He began training as a professional wrestler in 1973 under Eddie Sharkey. He competed for the American Wrestling Association, and he then wrestled for the National Wrestling Alliance and won the NWA Missouri Heavyweight Championship. In 1976, later that year, he joined World Wrestling Federation, defeating, you were right, superstar Billy Graham is who he defeated. So for the WWF Heavyweight Championship in 1978, he held the championship until 1983. I knew he held it for at least a good 5 years. And then where he lost it in a match against the Iron Sheik, I remember that. Arnold Skull and his manager, I watched the match. He threw the towel in, and he submitted to the Iron Sheik. I remember some classic matches with Backlund versus Sergeant Slaughter. Remember those matches?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Those matches were hot, man. I remember that. Oh gosh, I remember when Sergeant Slaughter beat the Ultimate Warrior, and then Hulk Hogan came back for a second stint. Remember that one? Oh my gosh, yeah. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. So anyway, in 1992, And then he also was he came back in 1992, and in 1993 he was in the Royal Rumble match for over an hour. It was a record held until 2004, and he also was at the 1994 Survivor Series. Backlund won his second WWF Championship, defeating Bret the Hitman Hart. So let me see here. He held the championship for 3 days before losing it to Diesel. Remember Kevin Nash, Big Daddy Diesel? So
Yes.
at a house show in Madison Square Garden. So there were the WWE first was talking about with the house shows. Remember we talked about this before. They were talking about getting rid of the house shows because the wrestlers were getting hurt. Now, and the attendance has been low at these house shows. The way I look at it is, and the way I see it here is, I don't think people have the money anymore to go to all these events. And there's Raw, there's SmackDown, but to go to one of the house shows. And then they were talking about having some title matches there, and actually people, some champion losing the title or two at some of them house shows. That's the way it used to be back in the day, as you see here, at these house shows. And then when Raw and SmackDown showed up, they stopped doing that. In addition to his time with the WWF, Backlund has held a success in wrestling, and he won a wrestling and romance championship wrestling from Florida. He was involved in New Japan Pro Wrestling for a little and was inducted into the George Tiokos Luthesis Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2016. And that, everybody, is the story of Bob Backlund. You have any questions, Smokin' Jim?
No, man, that was very thorough. Excellent.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. You have any final comments before we go, Smokin' Jim? Anything you want to add to the show tonight?
Can't wait for next week.
Don't forget tomorrow night, everybody, 7:30 p.m. Blog Talk Radio. We're on 7:30. We're on for an hour. Again, we're going to dissect the Super Bowl, and we're also going to talk a little bit of wrestling about the Elimination Chamber, which is this Saturday. Peacock starts at 7, the pre-show, 8 o'clock start time for the Elimination Chamber. You have the men's match, the women's match. You have the mixed tag with Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. And then you also have 2 other matches involving, you have Roman Reigns going up against Sami Zayn. And then you have Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. And it's going to be a great time. Smokin' Jim, what's your predictions in this for the Elimination Chamber real quick before we go?
Ooh, man, what's your prediction? That's tough.
Yeah, the men's match for the U.S. title. If anybody could take it from Austin Theory, I think it's going to be Seth Rollins, because I don't see anybody else in that panel that can take it. And, I don't see Damian Priest taking it again. And then now the Judgment Day is going to probably start having all these titles, which I don't see happening either. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen when the Hurt Business comes back, because I know it's going to happen real soon. But anyway, I think it's going to be Seth Rollins, if anybody can beat Theory. If not, Theory will probably take his title back, and somebody else will beat him. And anyway, in the women's match, I think Carmella's going to take it.
Yay! I would love to see that.
I think Carmella's going to take it, because I think it's her time. I don't, the rest of the wrestlers, they've done it before. They keep on recycling them around. I think it's time for Carmella to have it again. So, I believe that to be true. It'd be a great comeback story, because she's been out for a while. I told you she had that miscarriage, and she's been out for a while. So, with that, it's time for her to make a comeback, and I believe she can do it. So that's going to happen there. I think the Bobby Lashley-Brock Lesnar match is a toss-up. I think Edge and Beth Phoenix are going to win their match, because Edge's contract and Beth Phoenix's contract run out at the end of April, and I believe that this is going to be their final farewell match to take on the Judgment Day. That's what I believe. And, so we'll see what happens the rest of the way. What do you think? Oh, Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. I don't know. They're talking about Sami Zayn taking it. He's a fan favorite. And then they're talking about Roman Reigns beating him again, and then Cody Rhodes taking it from him in WrestleMania. and Roman Reigns going off into the sunset. Or I'm hearing also rumors there could be a triple threat match involving Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes. So what do you think of this?
I just think Roman Reigns is just too much for Sammy.
Right. Yeah, that could be. I believe that to be the case. He still has Solo Sikoa with him. So we'll see what goes on with that and what the Usos do in this drama within the bloodline. So we'll find out. And don't forget, he told Jimmy Uso to take a look on TV when he gets home and don't come next week and watch it from home on TV. You'll be surprised what you find. That was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Hey, also, I think we'd be remiss not to say goodbye to the living legend, maybe the most beautiful woman of all time, Raquel Welch.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up tonight. 82 years old, man. That's crazy. She passed away. Well, they die in threes. Paul Martha just died from the Steelers. And
right.
so and a few other celebrities have died. There was I think a singer or somebody just died. So they always die in threes, and you know how that goes.
That's true.
That's true. It's sad to hear that. Jerry Lawler's getting better, so that's good to hear him as well. I told you about Conan, which is great to hear about Conan getting better. He hasn't lost a step. He's still on his podcast with the Disco Inferno, and telling it like it is, like he always does. And my question is, what's going on with LAX? I've seen Ortiz, I haven't seen Santana, and him and Eddie Kingston are going round and round. The three of them used to be like two peas in a pod, and now it's turning out that them two are fighting against each other. And I'd like to see what's going to happen there. That's going to be a real interesting storyline there for AEW. And you got Bryan Danielson next Saturday is AEW's pay-per-view. I wish him a lot of luck. He's going up against MJF for the title. So we're going to see how that goes, and we'll go from there. John Moxley probably going to go up against, the Cowboy, Adam, what the hell? Excuse me. I got a brain fart again sometimes, Smoking Jim. It happens every time, so. But anyway, hey, I just found out something interesting here. John Mitchell, the one who retired from the Steelers today. I just found out something very interesting. I got breaking news here that just came up on my phone here. It says John Mitchell's going to stay with the organization, and he's going to be in charge of laundry. So I just want to let you know that. He'll be in charge of laundry. I had to say that, man. I'm sorry. I had to say that. That was funny.
Hey, mediocre Mike promised to make changes to his staff, so John Mitchell was the change, right?
Yeah, he's making changes. Not the ones we wanted, though. We wanted Matt Canada gone, but that's not happening. So, by the way, don't forget tomorrow night again, 7:30 p.m. Blog Talk Radio 347-205-9631. Myself, Smokin' Jim Frazier, Mark Mancini. And tonight I will not be on with Peter Blake because Mark has a prior engagement. So I will not be on tonight in Tampa with Peter Blake. So I'm going to be watching the newest episode of Chicago PD tonight and finishing up watching AEW Dynamite. Also, don't forget Friday night at 5 p.m. Our time here, 2 p.m. in the West Coast, 347-205-9631, Blog Talk Radio. Myself, Bruce Kessinger, the External Bum Podcast. We talk sports and we talk about bums, and there's a lot of them out there in sports. Hey, Smoking Jim. Last week I mentioned Devin Bush as a bum.
Right, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. And don't forget Saturday night, 5 p.m. You can see me in my first sports blazer on Sports Corner. Saturday, 5 p.m. Sports Corner. Don't forget 6 p.m. Steel City Sports World on Saturday as well. And who knows what time, but the boxing authorities are scattered in there somewhere because they always seem to change the rotation there. But anyway, don't forget about the boxing authorities with my man here, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree. And they got a lot going on there on Channel Box as well. You can catch them on PCTV on a rotating basis. I'm Ralph Williams for Smoking Jim Frazier. It's been a pleasure being here tonight. Everybody have a wonderful night and God bless. Thank you.